Okay, you're a bit wonky, but I'm going to leave you like that because this is the third time I've sat down to try and film this. Shall we have another go? Let's have another go. Hello everyone, I'm Kim, and this is an extra video that I make at the start of every month. It's just a monthly reset where I set my goals, I share with you how I did budget-wise with my business, and I also have like an Etsy / Shopify Fight Club thing going on. Don't ask, it just gamifies it and makes it more interesting for me. And because this is the start of another quarter, I'm also going to be setting some quarterly goals at the end of this video as well. So if this sounds like your cup of tea, come join me. If not, have a lovely day. Goals. Let's start there. How did I do with my goals for March? Well, not well. March was busy. It was absolutely manic, actually. In fact, the whole of Q1 has been manic, but March was drunk and disorderly, frankly, and yet I still managed to not do any of the things that I set myself. I only set myself 2 goals. One of them was to list the Mother's Day patches in the shop. Did I do that? No. Why? Because I forgot when Mother's Day was, and then I looked at the calendar and realised I hadn't posted the patches, and Mother's Day was like within days, and I just thought, oh, fine, I won't. Oopsie. The other one, I was supposed to make and post some extra content for the course. The course that I have is called Crafting Connections, and it's about finding your ideal customer and connecting with them, etc. And I have a workbook which I was hoping to go through and make videos of me doing the workbook to try and sort of help walk people through the process, if that makes sense. Did I do that? No. No, I didn't. After speaking to some students who had been asking me questions about which platform was the best one to build their community on, instead of doing that, I decided it would be a much better idea to build a brand new community on Patreon for people who, like me, who have a handmade business, who want to build a YouTube channel around their handmade business. Because why wouldn't I do that at the last minute? I think I've said in a recent video that the way that my brain works is exhausting. I nearly fell over in terms of energy in March, and it was all my own doing. But that being said, I also don't regret it. It has been by far the best thing that I have done this year so far, I think, because this is so selfish. But I love talking about YouTube. I like brainstorming. I like identifying problems and challenges and working out how to get around those, how to fix them. And now I have built a little community where I can talk shop with people, or YouTube specifically. Yeah, it's nice to be able to speak to people about YouTube who, 1, know what I'm talking about, and 2, want to talk about it. Because I'm used to trying to talk to people about it who aren't actually that interested. If my husband's watching, sorry Dan. So yes, it wasn't on the agenda, but I'm really glad I did it. And if you're watching this and you are a Patreon, thank you so much for joining me over there. You have filled my cup right up. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that too much, but I do want to say thank you. And yeah, we'll just forget about March goals. I didn't hit any of them. Move on. April. Okay, so going forward into the month of April, what have I got to do? Well, it's April, so it's tax season. We have a long time to do it here in the UK, but I like to get it out of the way as quickly as possible. So I think I'm going to be focusing on bookkeeping and submitting my self-assessment. The other thing I want to do is the mini shop update. Some of you may remember that I had an Etsy experiment thing going on. It had phases. I've done phase 1. Well, this would be phase 2. And initially it was going to be making new items from existing materials that I already had here without buying new supplies in. Well, because I had such a successful February, a lot of things sold out, so I'm having to restock. And that's basically what phase 2 is now looking like. It might have a few new bits in there, but it's probably just going to be looking like a restock shop update. You can see, can you see that? That's my sewing machine, and that little pink thing over it is fabric that I've painted up. There's more in the kitchen drying as we speak. I'm working on it. So yes, submitting my taxes and a mini shop update / phase 2, and linked to that, I want to do a phase 2 vlog for the members of my channel membership here, because they get behind the scenes vlogs, and I did a vlog on phase 1, so they're due a phase 2. So if I complete phase 2, it makes sense that there would be enough footage to make a phase 2 vlog. We shall see. That's three goals I'm setting myself for April, and considering I didn't hit any of my March goals, I do realise that's optimistic. Budget. I don't want to talk about it, really. March was such a... When I make these videos, I'm talking about budget in terms of my business budget specifically. But sometimes I do talk about my financial situation from a personal point of view, because it does have an impact. So from a business point of view, the budget was fine. I mean, I didn't spend a huge amount in my business at all, which meant that profit and loss was very, very healthy. Unfortunately, money coming in to the business, revenue, was also freaking low. March was a very painful month. Very painful. Even more painful than December was. And I've talked about how painful that was already. At the same time, that personally, it was an expensive month. Now, I wasn't worried about this because the start of the year for us is always a very expensive time of the year because all of our birthdays land at the same time. And this year we also had our car MOTs, car problems, because they decided to be complete divas at pretty much the same time. So it's been a very expensive start to the year. However, now that we are past that, usually what happens is that things get a little better. So that's why I'm still smiling. I made it. But every month I have financial goals. I have my my baseline goal, which is like the bare minimum that I expect my business to make each month in order for me to stay in business. Then you've got my sort of like mid goal, and then you've got my stretch goal. And I made my baseline goal by £1. The whole month I was just paddling as frantically as I could, and I just about managed to keep my head above water. Yeah, March was painful. March was a thing, but I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still smiling, and I'm still optimistic. So, March. A lot of the things that I have done over the last few months, though, have been like... They're like planting seeds. You don't see the effects straight away, so I'm hoping that things will get a lot easier going forward. I mean, that's the hope. But I've got to be honest, we're only a few days into April and it already feels a lot calmer. Let's move on to sales, because I know that a lot of you are here for that, and you're here for the fight club. That is, who won out, Shopify or Etsy? Well, it was Shopify, which, to be fair, not completely unsurprising. I think I've already alluded to it, that I haven't had a lot of stuff that I would usually have in my shop because a lot of things sold out. So can't really blame it, to be honest. I mean, if there's not enough stock in your shop, then you can't really complain if you don't make sales. I mean, you can, but a bit pointless. So yes, Shopify won. Let's bring up my my little Fight Club chart. You can see that it was a mixed bag in the 2023, which I've got at the bottom there. I didn't have my website in the first couple of months, which is why there's nothing there. 2024 at the top, let's stick in Shopify, and so far in 2024 it is winning. Like I said, it makes it a bit more interesting for me, so. And yes, revenue and profit, it won out as well, so it came back fighting. Okay, and if you're still here, as I said, it's Q2, so let's review my goals for Q1 and set some new ones for Q2. Okay, Q1 goals, they were notes, because always. Okay, get financial house in order. Oh yeah, that was a bit of a mixed bag between business admin and life admin. I had to catch up with my bookkeeping, which was the business part of this goal, and then I had to add some savings pots and do some pension admin, which I've all done. That was the personal side of it. So, check, I have done that. Introduce some merch. Did it, didn't I? The idea was that I was going to bring in a cup with some sort of logo or something for the Coffee and Craft podcast. Could I come up with a design? Could I heck? And it started to make me quite angry every time I sat down to try and do it. So I gave up. And instead I decided to come up with 3 different designs with some phrases on that I like. If you're a regular here, you know that I like them. This one is the done is better than perfect because, well, to be honest, because it was the first one that I picked up this morning, but also it helps me get things done. So yes, instead of launching 1 cup, I launched 3. My brain's a mess sometimes. Anyway, because March was such an expensive month, I took them down. They've been out of stock for a little while because, like I said, March was expensive and I needed to focus on the personal side of things. Anyway, now they are back in stock because, like I said, things are calmer now. You'll see them somewhere because my shop is linked to this channel. I do want to add them to Etsy at some point. I'm not going to lie, I'm scared to because Etsy's bots are drunk and disorderly, aren't they? So yes, I might be making a video shortly of Etsy shut my shop for no reason, which is easier to write down than say. Hopefully they won't. Hopefully they'll leave it alone and I'll do everything right. But we shall see. For now, they're available and I've linked to my my website because that's what I do. Right. Okay. So yes, launched merch. Check 2. And then the third one. Well, gosh, that feels like an absolute lifetime ago. I launched the course, but that was the first thing I did at the start of Q1, way back at the start of January, which feels like a whole lifetime ago now. But I did that too, so check. I do apologise if the light's going light and dark, but the sun doesn't know what it's doing today, which frankly I can relate to. Q2 goals, let's go through them quickly. Year-end stuff. This includes, but is not limited to, my self-assessment and getting that submitted. It also includes some other things that I do in the business at this time of year, which is like to look back over my finances over the last year, try and project how much I might make or how much I might grow over the coming year. Is my business still viable, sustainable? Is it still growing? Yada, yada, yada. Year-end stuff. I've touched on this. Phase 2 of the Etsy experiment, which is restocking the shop and getting a couple of new items up. I want to do that and I want to get that done this month actually, so hopefully that will be a Q2 goal that gets checked off quite quickly. And then the last one, and this is the one that I need the most time for. I don't know why I'm putting my cup down, but this is serious. My summer shop update. That's not right. My summer shop update. There is a plan of making stuff at certain points of the year, and I'm trying to make this the year that I am organised and I start making things in time to list them at the right time so that they are up in the shop for the right occasion, because that is just a juggling act that I completely failed at last year. To be honest, I've completely failed at it for the last few years, so I'm trying to get better this year. Those are my 3 goals for Q2. I keep hitting the tripod. Will I hit them? Who knows? But yes, I would like to just kick down a gear, I think, in this next quarter with regards to launching new stuff. I need to make new stuff for the shop, but launching big new things, no. I started the year with that. I'm done now. And then rather than focusing my attentions on launching new stuff, I can focus them on just maintaining the things that I already do. This channel, my new Patreon community, that sort of thing. I'm ending Q1 and starting Q2 kind of proud of myself actually for what I've achieved and for hanging in there, and cautiously optimistic. Now I know I've mentioned the Great Etsy Experiment in phase 1 and phase 2. Some of you won't have a clue what I'm talking about there. I did make this video which I'll link to here so that you can go and watch that if you would like to, and if you do go and watch it then I will see you there. Otherwise, I will see you again soon.